So today I want to tell you about the game Biome. And this is a game that more than a year ago, I actually helped do just a little bit of play testing on, and then it came to crowdfunding, and then it fulfilled, and now I've been enjoying and playing it, and I wanted to tell all of you about it because I think this game is really fun. If you enjoy nature-themed games, this is a great option. It feels a little bit like if Earth and Wingspan kind of came together. It pulls some of the best from both of those games, but has enough that makes it its own. So let me tell you about this game. So the way that it works is there will be a central board here that will have a deck of cards. This is less than half of the cards that come with the game. There are a ton of cards, and as you can see, there are different colored borders on the cards, and that's going to indicate where the cards can be placed within your own biome, because that's what you're doing. You're creating a biome. The game is played over 3 years, which will be tracked right here. And within each year, you have seasons. Obviously, that's how years work. So you're going to go through the seasons, and then within the seasons, different things happen, which you track here. A chunk of it all happens simultaneously, which I love when there's some simultaneous play because it cuts down on the time between turns. So you are going to make sure that you are at your hand limit of only 8 cards. You are going to draw 2 cards because you can then go up above your hand limit. You are going to collect resources, which the resources in this game are gorgeous. You have berries and sun and insects, leaves, rodents, and fish. And then here you have chicks and bunnies, which are used for something different. They're not considered a resource in the way that these others are. So you have that going on. You get to collect resources every turn, and then you're going to play a card that you have into your biome. So everybody does this at the same time. Then you're going to do the seasonal event. So depending on the season you're in, there is something that is going to happen. You can also have an additional weather event in certain seasons if you want. You don't have to do it. This adds a little more complication to the game. And then one at a time, you're each going to activate a card within your biome. And that was one season. You then proceed down and do it again. How does my biome look? Well, let me show you. Actually, first, let me show you a couple other things on here too. So you also have all of these achievements. So there's one that's always on the board, and then you will pick 3 others that are going to occur. This is a game for 1 to 4 players, and the first person to achieve it is going to get the most points, but everybody can still achieve it. You just get slightly fewer points than the person who did it first. Going around this board, you will have your little player character. So this one, I'm a koala. And as you move around the board from things on your cards, you will pass different things on here. And when you pass those on the score track, you gain those benefits or that consequence. Like here, you have to lose a card. So that's all going on the main board. Now I can show you your player board. So everybody will have their own player board, which shows the 3 biomes. You have the marsh, the prairie, and the jungle. And these are your cubes that you use to show when you have activated your card. And they go right here. And then along the side, you have each of the resource types that you will store here. So everything's very well organized, very well laid out. And then it lets you know you can always exchange resources if you need to. There is also a player aid card for every player, which you know I am a big believer in. So you have all of your player aid information that you could need right there. And then you are going to start with one of these starting cards. So they go into the biome that they show. And these ones don't cost anything, but they also don't gain you any points. They're all worth 0. So when you play these, they go into the biome, and then, like I said, one of the things on there was activate card. So if I had this, let's say I played the Bobo Link, and you can play them anywhere in the biome. You don't have to start at the top and go through. If I activated this one, it says get 2 insects and draw 2 cards. So that's its activating ability. Every card is going to be different, and certain cards want to be played next to other cards to get you more points, things like that. So you are going to try and create some synergies and some combos, but I can only activate this card once per game. And once I do that, I can't activate this ability again, which is where all of these other cards come into play. And as I play a card, I will continue to activate cards. And then when we get to the end of the 3 years, the game is over and whoever has the most points wins. So if I have all of these different cards going on, so this one can go in the marsh or the prairie. This one can go in the marsh or the jungle. So I have different things going on, and each of the cards has a cost associated with it. So you do have to pay that cost from your resources in order to play that card into your area. You can't just play them for free. So then in spring, certain animals are able to have babies. So if that's the case, you get to put a nest on them, and based on the animal, you get a certain number of babies. However, nature is kind of heartless. So then anyone who has predators gets to come through, and you could potentially lose some of your young to predation. Or if you cannot feed all of them, then they also won't make it. You do get points for the ones that make it. And then each fall they, go on their way, because that is what young do in nature. So I like this game because it's really thematic. I feel like it was very well thought out in how everything interacts. It's gorgeous. It's kind of puzzly, which I always love. Building out a world and trying to optimize it. I just absolutely adore this game. I think it's a great time. I would love to know if you have played Biome. What do you think of it? Also, please give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.